Struggling with swollen knees, sore hands, or stiff hips? If that sounds like your daily life, you're not alone. More than 32 million Americans live with osteoarthritis, and nearly half of adults over 65 report regular joint pain. That means every step, every button you try to fasten, every night you attempt to sleep through can become a silent battle. Pain has a way of shrinking your world. A trip to the grocery store feels daunting. Climbing stairs feels like climbing a mountain. Even simple joys like playing with your grandkids or cooking a meal become clouded by discomfort. I understand how discouraging that feels. You may have tried painkillers, creams, or exercises, only to find the relief temporary at best. And the worry grows. What if the pain only gets worse? What if you lose more of your independence? The truth is, chronic joint pain doesn't just affect your body. It weighs on your mind, your energy, even your sense of self. Research from the CDC shows that people with arthritis are twice as likely to experience depression. Pain isolates you. It convinces you that you're stuck. But here's the hope I want to offer you. The answers don't always have to come from a pharmacy. Sometimes the most powerful tools for healing are already sitting in your own kitchen. Spices, the ones you've probably used all your life, carry compounds that science now shows can calm inflammation, ease stiffness, and give your joints the support they've been begging for. These aren't exotic or expensive. They're natural, safe, and within reach. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how 3 simple spices, often overlooked but remarkably powerful, can make a real difference in your daily comfort. This isn't about quick fixes or miracle cures. It's about adding small, consistent habits that your joints will thank you for day after day. And if you're here for the first time, welcome to Golden Health. I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss other simple, natural ways to care for your body. Because no one should feel trapped in their pain, least of all you. When most people think of spices for health, they picture turmeric or ginger. But sitting quietly in your kitchen cabinet is a small, overlooked powerhouse: cloves. These dark brown buds may be tiny, but they contain one of nature's most potent joint protectors, eugenol. Eugenol is what gives cloves their strong aroma, and it's also the key to their healing potential. Scientifically, eugenol works much like common pain medications. It blocks the COX-2 enzyme, which triggers the production of prostaglandins, those chemicals responsible for swelling, stiffness, and pain. In fact, research in food and chemical toxicology confirmed that eugenol can significantly reduce inflammation through this pathway, making cloves a natural alternative to over-the-counter drugs without the long-term side effects. But the benefits don't stop there. Cloves are also one of the richest sources of antioxidants ever measured. On the ORAC scale, they score higher than blueberries and many so-called superfoods. Why does this matter for your joints? Because oxidative stress caused by free radicals accelerates cartilage breakdown and joint aging. Antioxidants in cloves help neutralize those free radicals, slowing down the wear and tear that makes movement so painful over time. A study in arthritis research and therapy even showed that clove extracts help protect chondrocytes, the very cells that keep cartilage healthy. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine someone like Walter, a retired carpenter in his late 60s. His mornings used to start with swollen fingers so stiff he struggled to hold his coffee mug. After adding a pinch of cloves to his oatmeal and sipping clove tea in the evenings, he noticed gradual but real changes: less swelling, better grip, more freedom to do the small things he loved. It wasn't overnight, but it was steady, and it gave him back a sense of control. So how can you start using cloves safely? The easiest way is to brew a simple clove tea. Just simmer a few whole cloves in water for 10 to 15 minutes. Strain and sip. You can also sprinkle a tiny pinch of ground cloves into smoothies, oatmeal, or curries. Their flavor is strong, so a little goes a long way. For something more powerful, try combining cloves with turmeric, ginger, and warm milk to create a soothing anti-inflammatory drink. One word of caution: because eugenol is highly concentrated, avoid large doses of clove oil or supplements without medical guidance. For most people, culinary amounts, a sprinkle here, a cup of tea there, are enough to see the benefits without risks. And for occasional flare-ups, diluted clove oil massaged gently into stiff joints can provide warming relief, though it should always be mixed with a carrier oil to protect your skin. The beauty of cloves is in their simplicity. They don't require expensive supplements or drastic lifestyle changes. Just small, steady use woven into daily meals can ease inflammation, protect cartilage, and bring comfort back to joints that have been hurting for too long. If stiff fingers, swollen knees, or sore hips have been holding you back, don't overlook this humble spice. Cloves may be small, but their healing power is mighty proof that sometimes the quietest solutions can bring the greatest relief. As powerful as cloves can be, there's another spice most of us use without a second thought: black pepper. You shake it onto eggs, salads, or soups, almost by habit. Yet behind that familiar taste is one of nature's most effective tools for calming inflammation and supporting your joints. The secret lies in a compound called piperine. It's what gives black pepper its sharp, slightly spicy flavor, but it also carries potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. When joints ache from arthritis, it's often because the body is stuck in a cycle of producing enzymes and chemical messengers that fuel swelling and pain. Piperine helps by blocking those inflammatory pathways, including COX-2 and certain cytokines. In plain terms, it quiets the chemical alarms that keep your joints in constant distress. Science has backed this up. A study published in Arthritis Research and Therapy found that piperine significantly reduced inflammation in animal models, improving mobility and reducing swelling. Another review in the Journal of Food Biochemistry highlighted piperine's ability to lower oxidative stress, a major factor that accelerates cartilage damage and joint aging. By neutralizing free radicals, black pepper doesn't just soothe pain in the moment, it also helps protect the long-term health of your joints. But here's where black pepper becomes even more exciting. Piperine dramatically increases the absorption of other healing compounds, most famously curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric. On its own, curcumin is poorly absorbed in the body, yet when paired with black pepper, absorption increases by up to 2,000%. That means a simple pinch of pepper can unlock the full anti-inflammatory potential of turmeric, turning an ordinary spice into a therapeutic duo. This is why golden milk, turmeric teas, and anti-inflammatory recipes so often include black pepper. It's not just about flavor, it's smart nutrition. Think about someone like Maria, a 70-year-old grandmother who struggled with knee pain that kept her from gardening. She had heard of turmeric but never felt much difference. Once she learned to pair it with black pepper, stirring both into her soups and teas, she noticed less stiffness in the mornings and more ease when bending down to tender plants. For her, the change wasn't in discovering a new supplement, but in combining two everyday spices already in her kitchen. So how can you make black pepper work for you? Start simple. Switch to freshly ground pepper if you can. Whole peppercorns keep their piperine intact until you grind them, giving you more healing benefits. Sprinkle it on eggs, roasted vegetables, lentil stews, or even fruit salads with a touch of olive oil. Add a dash to your turmeric tea, or blend it into smoothies with ginger and cinnamon. The key isn't large amounts, but consistent daily use, letting the small doses accumulate over time. There is one note of caution. Piperine can interact with certain medications by affecting how the liver processes them. For most people, culinary amounts are perfectly safe, but if you take regular prescriptions, especially for the heart or blood pressure, it's wise to check with your doctor. What makes black pepper so special is its ordinariness. It sits on every table, often ignored, yet it has the power to reduce inflammation, shield cartilage, and even boost the effectiveness of other healing foods. Relief doesn't always come in the form of something rare or exotic. It can be hiding in the grinder you reach for every day. So the next time you season your meal, think of each twist of the pepper mill not just as flavor, but as medicine. Every sprinkle is a step toward less pain, more mobility, and the freedom to enjoy the simple things again. After black pepper and cloves, there's one more familiar spice worth rediscovering, not for dessert, but for your joints: cinnamon. Behind its sweet aroma lies a powerful anti-inflammatory compound called cinnamaldehyde. It's the reason cinnamon does more than just flavor your food. It can help calm the very inflammation that causes joint pain and stiffness. When you're living with arthritis, your body often stays stuck in a low-grade inflammatory state. That's what leads to swollen fingers, aching knees, and joints that feel stiff for hours. But research has shown that cinnamon can help reduce markers like CRP, C-reactive protein, and TNF-alpha, both of which are tied to joint inflammation. In fact, one small clinical trial found that people with rheumatoid arthritis who took cinnamon daily reported noticeable improvements in pain and swelling. But cinnamon goes beyond inflammation. It helps improve blood circulation, which plays a key role in joint health. Healthy blood flow brings more oxygen and nutrients to your cartilage, while helping carry away waste products and inflammatory toxins. Better circulation means your joints stay more flexible and heal more efficiently. And here's something many people don't realize. Cinnamon also helps balance blood sugar. High blood sugar fuels inflammation. So if your blood sugar is regularly elevated, especially in prediabetes or diabetes, it could be making your joint pain worse. Cinnamon helps stabilize that by improving insulin sensitivity, according to several studies, including one published in the Annals of Family Medicine. For those managing both arthritis and blood sugar issues, this spice pulls double duty. Take Diane, for example, a 72-year-old with painful knees and borderline diabetes. She began adding half a teaspoon of cinnamon to her oatmeal in the morning and drinking cinnamon tea in the evenings. After just a few weeks, she felt less stiff in the mornings, and her blood sugar numbers started improving too. Now, how much is enough? About 1/2 to 1 teaspoon per day of ground cinnamon is a safe place to start. You can sprinkle it into oatmeal, smoothies, or add it to warm milk with honey. You can also make tea by simmering a cinnamon stick in hot water for 10-15 minutes. The key is not the quantity, it's consistency. One small but important note: try to choose Ceylon cinnamon, also called true cinnamon, instead of the more common cassia variety. Ceylon contains much lower levels of coumarin, a compound that, in high doses over time, can stress the liver. You'll often find Ceylon in health food stores or online. Cinnamon is simple, safe, and comforting. And while it won't cure arthritis overnight, it can support your joints gently and steadily over time. It's a reminder that healing doesn't always require something new. Sometimes it's about using what you already have, with just a little more intention. By now, you've seen how something as simple as a spice clove, black pepper, cinnamon can quietly ease inflammation, support circulation, and bring comfort to aching joints. But here's the real secret. None of these work in isolation or in one magical dose. The key lies in consistency, using them daily, in small, thoughtful ways, until the benefits start adding up. This isn't about becoming a nutritionist or overhauling your kitchen overnight. It's about building a small, sustainable routine. Something that fits naturally into how you already live, without pressure or overwhelm. Because when you're managing chronic joint pain, the last thing you need is another complicated plan. Let's break it down simply. Start with one spice, one time a day. Maybe it's cinnamon in your oatmeal. Maybe it's a pinch of black pepper in your lentil soup. Or clove tea in the evening to soothe your hands before bed. Choose what feels easiest and stick with that. After a week or two, you can build from there. If you prefer morning routines, try this. Oatmeal topped with cinnamon, chopped walnuts, and blueberries. Add a small dash of ground clove if the flavor suits you. For lunch, a warm bowl of soup or stew with freshly ground black pepper. And in the evening, wind down with a cup of herbal tea steeped with a few cloves or a turmeric latte enhanced with black pepper and cinnamon. You're not just eating, you're gently healing. These aren't dramatic changes, and they don't have to be. The beauty of this ritual is that it respects your pace. You're not relying on pills or chasing instant fixes. You're creating a rhythm, a daily act of care that supports your joints without stress or side effects. One of my patients once told me, "When I stopped trying to do everything at once and just started with 1 cup of cinnamon tea each night, That's when things finally started to feel manageable. And that's exactly the point. You don't have to do everything to feel better. You just have to begin. Of course, these spices aren't a replacement for medical care. If you're managing arthritis or joint disease, stay in touch with your doctor. But don't underestimate the power of your everyday choices. These small additions, when used consistently, can support your medication, protect your cartilage, and reduce the intensity of flare-ups over time. So open your spice cabinet. Revisit what's already there. Pick one. Try it today. Healing doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be slow, steady, and woven into the meals you already enjoy. Because every sprinkle, every cup of tea, every warm bite is not just food, it's a message to your body. I'm caring for you now. The journey to relief doesn't have to start in a clinic or with a prescription pad. Sometimes it begins right at your kitchen table, with a pinch of cloves in your tea, a dash of black pepper on your vegetables, or a sprinkle of cinnamon on your breakfast. These aren't small gestures. They're steady steps toward a life with less pain, more movement, and the quiet joy of feeling like yourself again. Joint pain can take a lot from you. Your energy, your independence, even your confidence. But what it cannot take is your ability to begin again. Every new choice you make, no matter how small, is a way of telling your body, I haven't given up on you. And you don't have to do this perfectly. Some days you'll forget the tea. Some days you'll be tired. That's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back. Because healing is less about doing everything right and more about showing up with patience, curiosity, and kindness to yourself. If you've watched this far, I want to thank you not just for your time, but for your willingness to believe that something gentle and natural could actually make a difference. It's easy to feel discouraged when you're living with chronic pain, but it's also never too late to take back a little control. So here's my invitation to you. Open that spice jar. Try one thing today. Let it be a beginning, not of a diet or a rule, but of a new relationship with your body. You deserve comfort. You deserve movement. You deserve peace. If this video has been helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe to Golden Health. That way, you won't miss future videos filled with simple, natural ways to care for your joints, your energy, and your well-being. And if you've already tried any of these spices, feel free to share your experience in the comments. Your story might just inspire someone else to begin their own. Take care of yourself.